How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the PatriotDIY channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to take your landscape edging from something that looks like this wavy plastic generic edging to a nice professional looking natural live edge like this. We're coming into spring now, and so today we're going to be working on these mulch beds around the outside of my house, and specifically working on these edges here. So when I made these beds originally, I used this 1.5 inch plastic edging that just goes around the outside and you nail it down. There's a couple problems with this stuff. It's real easy for weeds and grasses to grow up underneath it and to get into your mulch beds. It's also really hard to get straight. So when I installed it, I had it looking nice and straight, but then after a couple days or a couple weeks, it started getting really wavy and it just didn't look near as good anymore. Also, because it's just 1.5 inches high and it sits right at ground level, often with rainstorms and stuff, I'll get mulch washing out into the grass, and that really kind of defeats the purpose. So today what we're going to be doing is making a natural or live edge here. So we're going to get started on this in just a minute, guys. I'm going to show you all the tools I'm using and the entire process. But first, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Alright guys, so there's just a few tools we're going to need for this process today. First is a good landscape rake. We're going to use this to rake back the existing mulch and clean out the area so we can get started. Next is going to be some type of edging tool like this. So this has a nice sharp deep blade that cuts straight down, and this is what we're going to use to create our grass line, cutting straight down in whatever shape you want. Next is just a good flat shovel. We're going to be using that to cut in from the other side at an angle. That's what's going to create that trench that meets up to your hard grass line and allows your mulch to drop down into that trench without coming up and over into your grass. So I think that's enough talking. Let's get to work. So the first thing I did here was to go ahead and rake back that mulch to get it away from the edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull up that old edging. Now before I start digging my new edge, I want to make sure I'm going to get this nice and straight. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch a string across here and use that as a guide. Now this edging tool makes it very easy. You just put it in place where you want your line and just cut down into the soil, and I'm going to be following that string line as I go. You can also pry back a little bit to help loosen up that soil. Now I'm going to do that same thing all the way along the perimeter of my beds. Now I do have some landscape fabric in these beds, so before I start digging from the other side, I'm just going to pull back that landscape fabric a little bit to expose the dirt underneath. Now I did have some help for this, but unfortunately my helpers got a little distracted.
Oh, he's trying to curl around.
What you got?
Earthworm.
There's a bunch of them. You got one over there too?
There's like a million. Mine slipped on my hand.
All right, now back to work. So I'm going to take my flat shovel and I'm going to dig back towards that cut that we already made, and I'm going to do that at an angle to create a gradual slope all the way back to the bottom of our cut line. Then I'm just going to remove all that soil and make sure I have a nice clean line. And again, I do this all the way around the perimeter of the bed. Now it's still early in the season and my grass is still partially dormant, so I think this is a good time of year to do this. Now once you get to this point, you can really start to see these beds take shape, and I think it's looking really good. All right, so you can see what we have here, guys. We've cut straight down about 4 inches right here at our grass line, and then we've come back on the other side with our flat shovel, and we've cut back towards the bottom of that at an angle. What that's gonna do for us is as we bring that mulch this way, it's gonna drop down into the bottom of this trench. Now you don't wanna fill this to the top with mulch. You still want your mulch to come just to the bottom of that V groove, and that's gonna help keep your mulch from washing over into your grass. And that exposed soil here on this edge is what's gonna keep your grass from migrating over into your mulch. As those roots try to poke out from the side of your soil here and migrate into your mulch, they're gonna be completely exposed, and so they're gonna die off before they can continue to grow into your mulch. Especially if you have a regular regimen of coming through here with your mower or your trimmer, you're gonna be able to keep a nice clean edge here. Now let's fold our fabric back down into place and add in some fresh mulch. Now I'm just going to put my fabric back down into place and prepare to start laying down the mulch. Now the other thing I'm going to do before I lay down this mulch is to go ahead and trim and clean up this edge. And this can be done with just a regular weed eater. The only thing left to do now is to spread the mulch. Now remember, you don't want to fill the mulch to the top of your new edge. You really want that mulch to just drop down into the bottom of your cut line, and that'll just help make sure it doesn't end up coming over into your grass. And with that, our new mulch beds are done. We have a nice professional look, and I couldn't be happier. All right, guys, that is it for adding your natural live edge to your mulch beds or garden beds. I think it turned out great. It looks a lot better than it did before. And if you want that look of professional landscaping while keeping the grass out of your mulch and the mulch out of your grass, I think this is a great way to go about doing it. I hope this video helped you out, guys. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. And if you want any of the tools that we used in this video, I will have links in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.